Bombs are 2-0. It's going to be exciting. TGH and KillerApp, well-known rando runners, and should be a very, very good race. Both of them knock out the races like it's nothing, so looking forward to this one.
Both players opting to start with the link, well, just with the house play, just pick that up. Normally, see, KillerApp is doing what I normally kind of see happening by just going straight up to escape, or the first part of escape, maybe getting a couple of kills along the way, just to kind of get this pull on the tree for some items. Hoping for bombs, but no.
Yeah, TGH did it a little bit differently. Kill an enemy in the bottom right at the house. They just got 10 arrows in the house chest, which is not great, and arrows for pull. They're obviously hoping for either rupees or bombs, like you mentioned. We'll see what the uncle and the chest next to him hold, but nothing very...
So far. Heart piece and rupees, which is nice. Probably going to see a... save and quit, and then start back at that sanctuary to get that sank chest and start going about the normal kind of play around to Lost Woods probably, and then down to Kakariko.
Yeah, no, TGH is going to take the lower route here, checking the sank chest, and then going from the bottom. There's a couple bushes you can pick up along the way that could potentially hold bombs in them, so that's a very popular route that people take if there's a very, very scarce opening. Killer, on the other hand, set it up so that he has already 2 kills going into the save and quit, so he can catch the 4 enemy triple up here. So that's what he's aiming for, the catches. He can't get hit in between, so you gotta be careful about the guards. There you can see TGH trying to get that bomb, but not really getting anything. Has to reset the screen one time. Trying to find something here that is hidden. There we go, there's a bomb. It's probably gonna get another one. And Killer, as you mentioned, with more of the kind of standard route.
Spider throwing out a lot of magic. I believe the spider is, correct me if I'm wrong, kind of linked to the same... wow, Silver's in Lost Woods already, wow. Sorted! It is linked to the same as the tree pulls, isn't it?
No.
No? Because I've always seen that they drop, like when you pull out the bush, they kind of drop similar items to what you've just pulled from the tree.
No. It's completely random.
Interesting. Maybe I just got very, very, very lucky and found nothing but the same items.
Yep. Kind of missed the library item there. I don't know if you caught that.
I tried to see it. It didn't look too impressive because TGH immediately left.
Yeah, it might have been a shield.
It seemed like it wasn't even worth noting. So TGH, with all the bombs he needs to clear out the entirety of Kakariko, KillerApp probably going to have to make his way down, check as much as he can, and try and get some money to buy some bombs.
He will, however, get his 50 rupees in total, so he can buy bombs. So that's very nice for him. Nice little chest for him there.
Good pickup. He can start his conquest in the village. So far, quite lackluster. Just the Cuckoo Shack just having a simple arrow upgrade, so nothing to write home about just yet. These next 2 areas are going to be the money makers for Kakariko. 5 chests here, and then 5 in Blind's house as well. Oh, okay.
Yep, get the flute.
Not a bad start. I've seen worse.
Yeah, flute is really good at the start of the run, especially because you lack movement, and the flute makes it so that you can check locations a lot more efficiently than you would otherwise. So really like to see that as early as possible. I'm sure TGH is pretty happy about that. He also, a bad deal, but he did get 100 rupees. Thanks to his lower route, he didn't have to waste, quote-unquote, the 50 rupees on the bombs. So Killer might have to come back for that. Depending on what blind side holds here for our players, but yeah.
Just getting Duck on board as soon as possible. Going for the early song. A highlight of many races, I'm sure.
Of course.
I haven't seen a map check from either player just yet as well.
No, not yet.
With some people just get it straight out of the way. Not sure if it makes a difference to your routing or anything, but just getting that knowledge early always helps.
I mean, it can make a difference, but it's not very likely that it will, honestly.
Nothing really major happening here.
No. Pretty empty Kakariko. The flute of course allows our players to flute up to Death Mountain as well, so that could be an indicator there. But they have a couple more locations left to check before they quote unquote have to go there. Without any other items, it's kind of to go up to Death Mountain because you have literally one location that you can check or that you can get. You can check another one, and then there's a dark room. Where if you don't have items to like throw around or swing a sword or anything, that dark room can actually be quite difficult. So I'm not sure if the players are comfortable doing that. I know I would be kind of iffy about that, but yeah.
TGH obviously having spent a little bit more time just trying to procure those bombs on the bushes, so KillerApp with a slight advantage here, but does have to go and check down below. I would make the assumption that both players will flute immediately after this down to the swamp on Southern Hyrule, and then do your kind of usual clear from there around to the mini Moldorm cave. It was a shield library.
Yep. All right, so yeah. What is he doing?
Picking
he's playing. Of course, he has to.
It does help, yeah. In beginning the next conquest. So this is the kind of part where players might start to deviate slightly after doing the swamp and the mini Moldorm. We'll probably see some fake flippers and then kind of either check Lake Hylia, hang out with the hobo for a moment, and maybe an ice cave check, and maybe Agana. Quite the out of the way play, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. It's a pretty weird start for both players because they essentially have nothing. Like they have absolutely nothing. The flute is nice and all, but that doesn't really give them anything that they can work with for the moment. So it's going to be interesting to see how they approach this. Like I haven't seen a seed that has like given that few items at the start in a while.
Yeah, I think it starts like these, as you say, that are quite interesting because whilst there's great movement, the versatility in this is not really kind of lending itself to being able to kind of formulate any early sense of routing. So it's just a sense of formality now until anything really comes of it. But just loads of hearts and red rupees.
Yeah, there's nothing for the runners. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
That is, wow. Well, now it's getting interesting. What would I do in this situation? Like, you mentioned fake flipper, but I think I would actually hold off on that. Try to get an item that I'm supposed to at this point, because, like, there has to be something somewhere that helps me at this point, so...
Yeah, Ice Cave. It seems like an Ice Cave play for both. Yeah. It was either that, or maybe you could have taken the slightly longer walk to Sahasrara's house. But yeah, especially with like bomb reserves running low for KillerApp, he's a bunch of places require bombs to get into, and at this point he's got one choice left. So Sahasrara with the 3. Nice. Back to 6 quid then.
Yeah, gotta go back. Gotta go back. Good thing we have the flute.
That would be the worst.
Oh, killer! No, he missed his duck. Missed his flight. Gotta wait 5 hours.
Do you reckon maybe the pressure from the crabs might have psyched him out a little bit?
Maybe, yeah. Crabs can hit you there, but like they have a good amount of hearts at this point. We got a glove. All right, something to work with. That doesn't really immediately unlock a lot, but we can now check the back of Sanctuary, and Killer deciding to save and quit and immediately do that, which I think is a smart move.
TGH going for the fake flippers though.
There we go. Personally, I don't really like this play by TGH. I mean, it could pay out, obviously, but it's very likely that he will get something very essential from, like, the glove upgrade where Killer's going right now, because they still have so few items. Could, of course, still pay off, but we'll see.
It's just the numbers. The numbers aren't really in the favor here. I mean, there's information as well. That,
There are the boots.
Yeah.
And the hook shot. All right.
Yeah, that's opened it up. That's opened it up for Killer.
Yep.
I mean,
so
that
Killer...
would be an immediate play maybe to, I mean, potentially just straight up to Death Mountain, Love Cave with its seven chests, and Spiral Cave.
Yep.
He's also got the boots to check Bonk Rocks as well.
Yeah. That's exactly what he's going to do. So, I mean, Killer will probably eventually check the Hobo as well, but that's a bit of a time sink there for TGH. Just a very minor one, honestly, but...
Yeah. Those boots there. That's a big one. That's a big escape item there.
Ooh, TGH, actually, with the hookshot in tow.
He was just
not
getting the bomb,
deciding.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and Chet mentions that Killer, of course, needs to buy bombs. Bombs are very essential to your, you know, to open caves. And TGH ignoring the rocks for now. Ooh, interesting. Killer, even though he's equipped with everything for Death Mountain, deciding to go to Eastern first. That's an interesting choice. Doesn't
TGH
quite...
using the boots here to kind of like just kind of feel his way around the walls, which is a nice play. Obviously, the easiest thing to do this with is sword, because of the shine from a held charge is enough to kind of like give you your bearings. I'm not too interesting that he used the bombs there rather than just going for the bonk.
I think he might have just forgotten, honestly. There's a couple bombs. Nothing in the hut, really.
God, the rocks doing some serious damage to TGH, having to fall back and get some love from the old man quickly.
Yep. Killer will follow suit and get the old man out of the dark cave. I think we still haven't seen a map check, which at this point is actually kind of interesting, because I would have checked the map definitely at this point. But they are just kind of trying to find items at this point, so no intentions of going into dungeons, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that it's linear. There are still some things that can be checked, but it's one of those things that the general case of version 26 seems to be follow the breadcrumbs. Really, if the game gives you something or kind of points towards something that, you know, gives you an item or maybe a combination of items, then don't hesitate to check those up. You know, to follow it up, really.
We got a sword on TGH stream, nice. Okay. So we can finally fight back. I mean, the hookshot is a weapon that works against some enemies, but with the sword, you get the guarantee that you can kill everything, pretty much. Aside from a few exceptions, of course.
Bit of money.
That's good money right there. Another bottle. And the Moon Pearl, alright.
So just missing either the next glove upgrade or hammer to get access to old Dark World. Now TGH going for the hover. Oh, nice.
Show off.
I mean, you're on one of the biggest stages for Rando. You might as well, eh? Good man, TGH.
Might as well, yeah. Got rupees up on Floating Island. Killer is following suit here. Just going to find the same things. The Moon Pearl is interesting in the fact that not only do you only need one more item right now to get into Dark World, but with the Moon Pearl equipped, you could fake Flipper into the Waterfall Cave. So that might be another option.
Especially with that money that we just got, is looking a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
Blue Mail. Still a little bit shy though. There was the 50 rupees up at Spectacle Rock. Unfortunately, just kind of having that a little bit short is going to be quite annoying, but we'll go and check, yeah.
6, 7, and 3. So Eastern being crystal number 6. All Crystal Light World, that's pretty good. You generally like to see that because you know, okay, there's a pretty good potential that long dungeons in Dark World are pendant dungeons, and I potentially don't have to enter them. I do like to see that.
I mean, and generally, not essentially, but generally those dungeons have just less requirements in terms of items, so you know that you don't have to max out your inventory as much.
Okay,
still
Killer
depends if you get the items you need.
Killer getting the fairy there, that was pretty close, and TGH probably, yeah, going back to escape, a good choice right there. There's a couple chests at the front there, and with the sword in hand, you can make sure to get those.
This is one I think that can easily be forgotten. I find, at least I have in the past. It's just because you kind of like just do your basic check. You forget about these two in particular. Can do, but
yeah, escape is also
there are some
pretty
very nice items.
It's ether and escape there, but yeah, escape is potentially 3 chests here in the front, and it's pretty long, honestly, to check for those. So unless you kind of quote unquote have to, you may try to avoid it if possible. But of course, sometimes there's just a big item down here.
Yeah. Now, obviously, both players, because of lack of lamps, it's kind of doing the escape, the backside of escape sewers without a lamp can be quite tough. The map is there, so
the chest both players left in the sewers does have something. It does have something. We do have the access key, so.
Would you check it here at this point? Would you go immediately back, or would you make a play on a dungeon potentially?
I would not go back right now because I mean, they know that it can't be immediately important, at least. Like, it cannot be any immediate item that they need because it's still a sequence break, but yeah.
Yes.
They might have to eventually make their way back and check that chest. So right now, we really just want to see the hammer or the second glove upgrade.
So we're going to get some intel, some bombs on the side there, and we'll make his way over to Agana Cave.
Mm-hmm.
See, I like making a play on this sometimes. I want, it's one of those things that it'll always kind of just be, because it's so far out of the way compared to others, in the early game. It can be one that is just forgotten.
Yep, definitely. With the flute, you should never not check it, really, if you have, especially this, like, low budget start, I'm gonna call it. It's red mail, that's not bad. But yeah, you can have definitely, if you don't have boots or flute, it can be very difficult to go there and check. You have to have a lot of willpower to actually keep going that way to actually check it. And sometimes, sometimes the goods are there. But yeah, Killer not checking for the time being. He's going straight up into Eastern.
Yeah. Obviously, this is the only dungeon that our players can really get into right now. Lacking either that hammer or mirror for the Tower of Hera, and no book to get into Desert. So at this point, I think TGH will be making the follow-up decision to go over there as well. There he goes. There's got to be an item in here now.
Pretty much, and we don't want to see the Master Sword or the cape.
Yeah.
We want that hammer, or there's the Titansmiths. Nice. Okay, so they do have Dark World access. Aga, not required, I think, or did I don't know. I think both runners didn't check Lumberjack Cape, did they?
I
missed it.
They did check it. It was just a red roof, I believe.
Okay, I missed that, but yeah, then it's not required. That's pretty nice. Ooh, Killer. He remembered that he can hook over here.
It might still be if they don't get any flippers or any hammer, and they kind of can only get over to, because obviously the way into Dark World on the east side is with hammer and regular mitt. If they haven't got the hammer or any flippers, they can't get from west side.
That would be. I have not seen that. Like getting access, but then not finding any items that get you over there, and there's an item there. I've not seen that before. That would be insanely mean, honestly.
Well, I wouldn't count anything out just yet, right? It is random after all.
Eh. Okay, Killer having a little bit of trouble in his Stalfos room there. Getting through eventually, finding the big key. He has 2 items so far to his name, the mitts and a bottle. We'll see if they can pull out anything else here. That's just a map, and now it's a matter of sequence breaking, and yeah, Killer will go for it. There's like 2 dark rooms that you have to go through here, which without the lamp are basically counted as a sequence break. So if they find something good here, they know it was behind the lamp at least.
I think yeah, the logic is probably asking our players to immediately leave now with their mitts in hand and go to Dark World. These first 2 dark rooms aren't necessarily too difficult. The first one just being a nice kind of clean square room, and then the other to the right just being a kind of like a slight maze with the odd pot here and there, but a key on the far side. So pretty simple to make their way through using the these sword light.
And we got all items out of Eastern. It was just a hard piece at the end here, but yeah. TGH definitely making up a couple seconds here and there with a bit of a more fluid execution there. Like Killer had a little bit of trouble damage boosting onto the switch there, but yeah. They will probably both make their way into Dark World now.
Yeah.
Oh, is he going for the chest? Oh no, with mitts, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Smart play. I didn't even think about that right now. See, like, I was just gunning for Dark World, just like Killer does. Don't want to leave that unchecked until it's too late, really.
Mm-hmm.
And Killer finally checks this map, it's just like, oh yeah, there's crystals, cool.
Okay, let's see that Dark World. We've got Pendant, wow, Maya, Skullwoods, and Thieves Town.
Yeah, Meyer being the green one, and we got Crystal 5 at Ice Palace. So,
okay. So, now, Elmagus, I know you're a big fan of Skullwoods. Would you immediately go there on this version?
This is a kind of a weird layout, so to say, because you, like you said, you don't have access to the east side of Dark World right now, and all you can do is pendant dungeons at this point. Like, even just jumping in, all you have is these pendant dungeons, and at this point, I would probably just check Overworld like they do right now, because it's probably a bit more efficient to do so. We might see our runners jump into the pendant dungeons if they don't really get anything big like the hammer, though. Because, yeah, you don't really have much of a choice at this point.
Yeah. Just doing a simple clear of the Town of Outcasts now. So options here, we can either do the grand tour of Dark World by going south and obviously round through to Hype Cave and then kind of make your way back. The mitts being obviously having the mitts moon pearl option is obviously just for this side of Dark World a little bit better than having hammer and regular power glove, because you can't get back if you go down the south side of the Town of Outcasts. Both players making a play on this. So now this is obviously not a bad play to make because the first 4 chests are so easy and quick to get. Chances are you can get 3 items of the 4. But we'll see.
So far, we only got 1 item here. It's gonna be interesting to see, like you said, the 4 chests, or will they decide to actually stick with this dungeon and go all the way through it? Because version 26 does like to put items deep into dungeons as well. So, yeah. That being said, they still have a lot of Overworld left to check. He's mentioned Hype Cave, which would probably be the #1 spot I would have checked. But there's the mirror! Ooh, that's a big one! That's a big one!
Yeah. See, that's going to allow, again, this is about versatility and movement rather than just kind of clear, just sheer kind of like places you can go and things that unlock from it. Just the ability to kind of like hop in and out of Dark World is very important.
Oh, TGH, no. He tried to death warp and then he finds the mirror. Oh, it was such a good setup too. He tried to do the death warp with the bombs and then he found the mirror and it's just like, oh no, and then he didn't kill himself. It's like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Now he's got to head back to the shop to buy more as Luigi gets digging.
Yep, you do want to do this digging game with especially with the mitts in hand before you keep on doing other stuff. You can now basically just pick up the frog and then the purple chest, and then do the rest of the lower route as you go along.
KillerApp kind of thought about doing the grand tour, but remembered about going back to frog. Yeah.
The one thing is that if you have the frog or the chest with you, you cannot do the digging game. So you want to get that out first, and then go back and do this for so you get out all the possible locations in one go, pretty much. So, yeah, I'm assuming they will still take the same route. That failed death warp did cost TGH a little bit of time, sadly.
Yeah.
Now the mirror is interesting here because it doesn't really open up too much, but we do get access to Hera.
Yes, that is true, yeah.
So, interesting to see whether... I guess they will stick until Hype Cave, they will stick with like cleaning out the overworld, honestly, because I would too, and then they probably will head towards there.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, I've seen when I've been watching a lot of players, obviously of like higher level at Randomizer, kind of play. There's that duality of mindset. You know, do you want to just go and clear dungeons that are easy and you have the items to do first, or do you want to make sure that you just clear out all of the overworld on the off chance that you'll pick up more and more items, which will kind of decrease your need to full clear a dungeon? Is there, you know, what tends to be the main factor behind which of the two you go for? If you have any thoughts on that.
The main factor, I would say, is definitely how far are you into the seed. Like, if they are early in the game, so they probably want to be as thorough as possible. Like, dungeons, maybe not immediately, you know. The later it gets, and the less items you need, the more you kind of want to like to try and go into dungeons, because then you are progressing as you are trying to find items. Like, say you're missing one item, you prefer to try to find that in a crystal dungeon than on the overworld. Of course, sometimes the item will just be on the overworld, but yeah, you mentioned earlier, you kind of trying to follow this item chain, follow the breadcrumbs a little bit. Like with the mirror, both of them are probably looking for a mirror location for the next item, to try and see and follow along that a little bit. But, you know, it's not always 100% that it works that way, but that's kind of like the pointers and hinders that you have to take and trying to find items here.
Hype Cave being quite mediocre as well. We got Sankheart though, so that was a fairly mediocre cave. We're going to finish our grand tour of Dark World. Our players can check as well at this point Maya, or you know, the cave outside Maya, and then maybe go for a reverse entry into Desert Palace, maybe. Yeah, obviously they haven't got Fire Source, which prevents them from going after the boss, but they can at least clear around that area. Ah, yeah. Looks like KillerApp going for the fake flip of play. Using the... do you think... Yeah, should probably make his way back. Go and check Hobo, then make his way back, and then do the Jesus Walk, as I believe it's called, round to Zora.
Yep. Luigi beating Link at his own game, not like this. Okay, let's see what TGH decides to do. Yeah, he's going for the straight up Hera play, which I like. I would have done the same, honestly. Like going up here, getting you have an easy crystal. The only thing that could happen is that
he's going dark side first,
mm-hmm.
which is nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You can.
I completely forgot about them. You know, I just forget about items all the time. Yeah, the mitts are available, so you can do dark side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 6 chests, 7 if there was anything on floating island, which I believe there wasn't. Right there, sir.
I'm good, yeah.
Nothing on the ledge, just a heart piece. So, KillerApp going to just make his way back towards using, as you can see, the trying to stay off the land. If he makes contact with the land, the Jesus Walk, as it's called, resets, and you can go back onto land and then go around the long way. But resets it. But Bombos is found. Nice.
Interesting. That opens up. Well, I mean, opens up is kind of loose, but you could now go into Ice Palace.
Yeah, that having the fact that is able to be done completely.
Well, they still need the hammer to do it completely, but it's a possibility.
Seem to, as you say, both players being on a very, very similar train of thought as well here. Just kind of maybe one step behind each other due to slight deviations, but the general. Although KillerApp opting not to go into Dark World. Just going to go straight up to Hera. But on this side.
Interesting. Oh, we have half magic in Hera. That's definitely nice.
That does also increase, if a hammer is found very, very shortly, does increase the incentive to go to Ice Palace because it'll be much more manageable. No big key.
Okay, so they are locked out. They do need the fire source in order to actually complete Hera. And yeah, Killer just kind of like... I think he wanted to try and see that he can do the Total Rock portal, but then he realized that he doesn't have the hammer in order to do that, so yeah. Like, unfortunate time loss there for him, but... Yeah, they're still kind of running around trying to find a big item so they can, like, you know, proceed here. It might still hide in Thieves Town, honestly, at this point. We got still Skullwoods left for check, and that is exactly where TGH is going to go
Almost
after.
did. I think, yeah, he's going to go check Bumper Cave, isn't he? Yeah, just again, intel.
And Graveyard Cliff is still untouched, I believe, so he probably will also check that. There's nothing in Bumper Cave. I think TGH comes out here due to his routing slightly ahead, especially with Killer's little mistake there.
Yeah. Given that they have the mitts and the flute, I mean, checking. I mean, there is the incentive, as I was mentioning earlier, to just kind of clear out the area around Maya, get that cave, check checkerboard as well, because it is a few items, and sometimes, I mean, they do have the propensity to have something quite nice in there usually.
Potentially, yeah. So we find the big key in Skullwoods, which gives us immediate access to the big chest here. Just gonna try and get that open. It's just the map. We did find the single arrow already. I remember that, but I don't remember where it was.
It was in Mini Moldon Cave.
Yeah.
At the very end. This is your favourite's not going to be pulling out the big guns just yet, mate.
Yeah, this is a rough seat to play, honestly. The the runners can't feel good about how they are progressing at this point. I mean, they do have a couple of nice items, but nothing like where they could say, "Man, let me go already. Let me progress a little bit further." Because right now, all they can really do is either pendant dungeons or well, check overworld, and that's nice and all, but you know, you kind of want to get your crystals.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're completely both of the items in Skullwoods are actually in the back area, in the boss area.
Yep.
Wow.
We didn't find anything of value there on TGH's screen. Killer with the follow-up Skullwoods play. Now we're gonna get the Graveyard Cliff check here. There is, I believe there is 2 items left in Thieves Town.
Yes. Yeah.
We found hearts.
Yeah.
Hearts,
It was
small
a regular
key.
key, big key, and then money and
exactly.
And the mirror. Yeah. I think TGH was the one who picked up. Was it TGH who did? It was who did King's Tomb. So.
Yep. Killer will probably do that after he does Graveyard check. And what do you do from here? It's interesting.
Good question. I mean, my mind is still kind of like just hovering over over the Maya play, but that's just because it's there in my head.
I think TGH is checking Lumberjack right now.
Or has he not?
And
yes, it was KillerApp who did that at the start.
Yeah. At this point, especially with Lumberjack unchecked, you were getting nervous for sure. And there is a net there. That's a good net. But that's not gonna help us.
It looks like KillerApp's making his play back into Thieves Town to finish that one off.
Not a bad call at this point. Not a bad call. They do have pod where they could dip in. They do have the. Well, actually, they can't get over there, can they? No, they can't.
No, yeah, they can't currently get to pod. You can hook shot from the right. To
Are
the
you? Did you, mates? Don't you tell me that you jinxed the runners and they actually do have to do Aga 1.
I didn't. They can't get to Aga 1. They haven't got the cape of the Master Sword.
Oh man, what is this? This is crazy. Yeah, Thieves Town seems like the location to be at. I don't know. The Mire area is still there too. So.
Let's see if we get the perfect pixel for KillerApp. No, we're gonna play it slow.
For their sake, I hope they don't find the lamp anytime soon, and a cape or something of that.
Yeah, because you do need to have the lamp as well to get through it. Logically, you need the lamp. That is a risky moment. Oh, you got the. May give me heart attacks when he's pulling out the bee. Okay.
Oh, dude, that would have been funny. Okay, so TGH gets his bombos, but I think he won't be happy about that. For the time being, anyways. See if he remembers Meyer. That would be an interesting deviation here. Ooh, just +5 bombs, but there's one left. Don't, yeah. TGH does remember the Meyer area, so I assume that this is going to help them out. Let's hope it's not a lamp or the Master Sword.
Imagine if this next one was just both the lamp and the cloak, and it's just great.
Meyer has ether. Oh man, now well.
And he can get in.
Yeah, they can get in. They sure can. They sure can. There's the hammer. There is the hammer. All right.
Nice find for TGH. That'll be very, very big. Giving him a nice head start to kind of clear some areas. Checkerboard Cave coming up next as well.
Mm-hmm. Alright, for Killer's sake, I hope that Thieves Town has something, but it doesn't. Ew.
Book as well for TGH.
Right, yeah. So Book doesn't really immediately do anything for him. But the tablets can potentially have something. For now, we can't get it, but yeah, that book lying around there doesn't bode well, in my opinion.
It seems like TGH might.
Desert.
He's going to go for reverse desert, I guess, just to clear it out.
He can get all the items in this part of the dungeon. He just can't finish it because, well, he doesn't have the fire source yet. But checking the items here is definitely not a bad idea. See if he can get something. There's a big heat on the torch, so that will be a very easy check for him higher right here. Going to the big chest and then checking the right side of the dungeon.
2 items is 2 items.
It's potentially only 1 if Landmill holds the other one, but... there are the flippers!
Nice.
And that's, my friend, opens up not only Swamp Palace, but also Ice Palace. So,
yeah.
Swamp
Ice Palace
and
is completely doable, so is Swamps. That's 2 crystal dungeons on the map now for TGH. KillerApp now making his follow-up. He didn't get the key from the middle room, TGH.
It's pretty uncommon for the key to be there if the big key is on the torch, honestly. I have not seen that a lot, so I understand why he made that thought where the thought process came from. But, yeah.
Kind of a hard... yeah. Given the length of Swamp Palace, it can seem potentially, just like the general longer play. But the item density is quite nice.
Yeah.
Both items there for TGH. He's cleared out Desert Palace nice and quick.
Yeah. Yeah, Swamp is definitely the most appealing option right now, I would say. You don't really want to do Ice with Bombos and Fighter Sword. Like, that's... I mean, you can see him hesitating. He's actually doing it. Wow. You can see him hesitating.
I like how as
on
soon
the
as you
screen,
said
though.
it wouldn't be the right one, he went for it.
I mean, TGH is a very good player, so he might decide to do stuff like this, but this is definitely not recommended. Do not try this at home. It's very dangerous and very hard, so don't try this at home, kids.
I don't think I've done Fighter Sword Cold Stay yet. Master Sword is tough enough.
Yeah, it's messy. It's messy. You want to do it with a hammer, and you know how the hammer is in this game, so...
I'll take what is range for 500, please?
What is range? Yeah. You're disregarding my rules. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to help here. I mean, again, though, TGH is a good enough player that he can do this very, very well, very fast, very efficiently. So I understand. He did hesitate though. Like he was like, "Should I really do this now?" And I said, "Okay, I will." Let's see if Killer comes to a different conclusion here and says, "Hey, you know, Swamp Palace, that looks pretty good right now." After getting his flippers, let's see.
Flippers, hammer. I think he's now going to go and check Checkerboard Cave for his Book of Mudora as well. Nice.
The book is kind of what worries me at this point, honestly. It could just be an item off the chain that has nothing to do with anything in this seed, but like, it's lying around there, man. I don't know. I'm always very, very cautious about these things.
Gets it, nice.
Quick map check, Kappa. And we do indeed see Killer. Killer will indeed go into Swamp, so we have 2 different dungeons here coming at us at the same time.
This is nice. This is nice.
I do like Killer's play a lot more. Not because, you know, I'm saying, hey, you know, it's too hard to go with the load into Ice with the load that you have right now. But it just seems more likely that Swamp will have what you want next. It's just a bit more likely than finding it in Ice. That being said, you know, he could just open the next chest and it could be something, you know, Pyrod, whatever, you name it, and he could prove me totally wrong, but... Ooh, missing the jump there. That's something you don't want to do. Now he's in a bit of a bind here. He's gotta go all the long way around, basically. And he can't like that.
Yeah, because we didn't get a key to get into the east side of Ice Palace, I have to do the back door route, which is always fun.
Yeah.
Just takes that little bit of extra time having to kind of go through a few of these I'll say rooms. I was trying to think of some kind of fancy word, but nothing came out. Sorry.
It's just a hard piece there, but yeah, this is why I don't like doing ice with this loadout, especially as well. Like if you want a full clear, one tiny mistake and suddenly you add on a minute to your clearing time. And Swamp, on the other hand, it takes long. Yes, it does have 6 chests though, and there's not a lot of things you can do wrong here. Really, it's a pretty straightforward dungeon, if you will. No bomb jumps, nothing like that, nothing crazy that you have to do in order to sequence break. So we'll see which runner gets paid out here, or if both dungeons have nothing, what do we do then? Wow, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. So none of the runners finding anything so far, just making their way through. TGH is close to having the game. Fortunately, we did kind of find the hammer, so it's all good. But there's that cave. Doesn't really help us at this point. Does unlock the spike cave on Death Mountain, so there's that. Bumper cave was checked. There's only a piece of heart, something like that up there. Nothing of importance, but spike cave is definitely something to keep on the radar for now. See the big chest and ice here. Killer, by the way, deciding to ignore left side the ice rod. That's an important one. However, that doesn't really help us immediately right here.
No, it's nice to tick it off, considering truck is on the agenda. It's nice just to have to know that the item that only is needed in truck is already found. It's the goose chase that is. Apologies for using the terminology, but the goose chase that is.
Yeah.
Ice rod is can be very, very stressful on the mind.
Yep. This definitely, if you were missing the ice rod as the last item, you were kind of panicking because it could be anywhere at that point. Having it, always a good thing. So now we get to see Hammer Cold Stare here. Very nice setup there from TGH. Very nice double hits and triple hits here and there. Very nice. Still taking a while, of course. Hammer does temper sword damage, slash damage, so they will still need to be hit quite a few times, getting the first down. In the meantime, we do see the menu boss on Killer's stream because he is on Argus right now. So he will be doing hammer strats on that, which require you to switch between hookshot and hammer every time you hook one of the puffs. Let's see, Cold Stare giving us a small key. I only really saw 2 items, but I must have missed something unimportant at some points. Because I think he did open every chest, so... Yeah, Killer finishing off Argus here. Well, trying to, anyways. Trying to hammer. There we go, needs 4 hammers on his eye. There we are, and TGH does the Spike Cave play here. Or maybe not. Maybe not. What is... Oh, he checks... Does he check Ether first? Smart play. I would have forgotten about this. Remember, he has the book, so he will check. Just couch cash. That's a smart play. And now Spike Cave. I like it. Not bad. Remember, we do have the book, and yeah, I mentioned it. That book lying around there, all alone, worries me just a slight little bit, just a little bit. Killer, by the way, I don't know, I didn't quite catch if he found all 6 items in Swamp, but he definitely is confident to leave the left side untouched, so there is that. Decides to go on the east side of Dark World, the first player to do so, so we're getting a pyramid check, maybe catfish, and potentially a pod entry here. Which, well, at this point, the seed is kind of, So TGH will definitely also go into Swamp, but not find what he's looking for. No catfish check from Killer. He's straight up going to pod, and they don't have the bow. Why is that important? Well, logic-wise, only the first 3 chests in pod do count as not bow-locked. Everything past that counts as bow-locked. So even if they find an item behind that, they know, okay, I should have found the bow first. So we'll need to see what's the payout there. Just couch cash from the other tablet as well.
Kind of interesting that he's making that play, because despite the fact that there are the 3 chests that are kind of not considered bow locked, he only gets 1 chance to get a key to go through the center to get the next 2. So it's literally putting it all on 1 chest here.
I think at the moment, as far as our runner's concerned, the game is ahead at this point. I think I think the game is ahead, and after that, I think both are about on the same level at this point. Because I mean, I'm trying to think. Where did they not check? And I can't really come up with anything. So yeah, the chest killer will open now, the top one here. This one's considered bow locked. So if he finds something here, that would not have been an item that he should have been able to obtain without the bow. Logic-wise anyways. And there's nothing here in pod. He will be able to go deeper in and definitely also try to find something, but he should remember that. Yeah. The reason these chests are bow locked logic-wise for now, that's going to get an update next logic update, but for now, there's a lot of fancy ways you can lock yourself out in this dungeon, so that in order to prevent yourself basically soft-locking yourself, the logic for now assumes that all those chests are bow locked. That was the easiest way to guarantee that a player does not lock himself out of a big item. Because there's all kinds of fancy key doors that you might or might not open, so yeah, he does find the big key, And the shovel. This is definitely not a priority item that he should check out, he knows that, hopefully. Because, yeah, I mean, there's not really anything going on there. In the meantime, TGH just running through Swamp. Yeah, I think I can't really see anything that's happening on Killer stream because Darkroom. Oh, we got Cane of Burna. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying. Meyer! Ash, you got it. Meyer must be something, right? Like, there has to be something in Meyer at this point, because, like, I'm running out of options.
Sorry about that. I'm back now.
Welcome back. Yeah, in general, if you have medallions and you're not really confident with like dark room movement and there's a lot of small enemies, use the medallions. Use them. It's very useful. You can just go your path. Nothing will be in your way. So, yeah. In the meantime, we see TGH with a little bit of a different approach here. He's using the sword spins in order to kill up the puffs on Argus, which is a very nice way of getting rid of them. 2 hits with the spins, which you get when you release the spin after you hooked it. We'll kill off a puff.
And knockback for the puffs, which keeps him in position for that double hit, which is nice.
Exactly. I didn't see if Killer got anything. I didn't see anything pop up, so I assume he didn't. A shield, a small shield. Okay, I mean that's fair. That's fair. All right, but yeah, I mean it's about time for that Meyer play. Ooh, and the Ice Rod Argus kill. Ha! If that doesn't give style points, I don't know what does. But there's also still chests and swamp left, actually. Okay, so Killer did miss out on chests there. Curious to see if I'm pretty sure TGH will go back for the strats. For the chests. Oh man, I'm just like the strat was so awesome. Yeah, he does go back. Okay, so that could be a big difference maker here. Should there be an item on the left side? Other than that, we only really have Misery Meyer left. We also get the catfish check. That's right, we did not, in fact, see Quakefish yet.
He is always out of the way. Kind of, you have to kind of just. Most players always tend to kind of like put it involved with like either a check on Zora or find if they're kind of like around the area anyway. It normally becomes part and parcel of other checks. Doing it like it's just a solo check of catfish is quite a long time investment for one item, but
Yeah, you're definitely trying to combine it with something. Ooh, the Master Sword! Okay.
That is nice.
That's pretty good, yeah. Unfortunate for both runners that they didn't check this earlier, but like you said, it was kind of hard to route in because usually you either try to combine it with like kind of a mixed dark light bolt check, or when you check Graveyard, Cliff and all that, and you have flippers, you can go over. They lacked that ability though, so there was no real good way of routing that in. It means that we do need to keep an eye.
One of those like tick boxes that just kind of comes up for that end game, making sure that Ganon is at least defeatable. The shovel digging in the grove going to be coming out now from KillerApp. It's Roops. 20 Roops.
Alright, so it's getting interesting on TGH's stream. Killer will go for the Meyer play. Okay. He's like, no ice palace. No, I'm not doing that. And I mean, I understand that, but this is the Meyer play. There's the bow and swamp on the left side! Oh, that's a big one.
That is huge for TGH, and he immediately kind of just doesn't even check the right side, I believe. Goes straight out of there.
I mean, I think what's happening here is Meyer has the lamp, which could still be huge, because they still lack the fire source. And I think from the bow, you're supposed to go into pot and find an item there. I think that's what's happening here.
It seems like, yeah, TGH is going to make his way straight over to pod, clear it as well, which is nice. And then he has the ability just to obviously go straight back to Eastern Palace and just clear and just get dungeon ticked off at this point.
It could still, depending on where the fire rod is. This is not over yet, guys. It's not over yet. It's not over yet.
Oh no, by all means, sure, of course. TGH hasn't yet jumped into pod, and I think that's kind of one of the big things here. Is KillerApp kind of made that decision early, and TGH has been lucky enough just to kind of hold it off long enough to find an item that really breaks that open for him. So the double dip isn't going to be happening on TGH's side. Which obviously is a nice time advantage. But depending on, because both players kind of just popped by Maya but haven't really jumped in, KillerApp making that, you know, the dive into it now. If something big is here.
There's the lamp!
We'll kind of think, when will TGH make? There's the lamp as well!
Yep.
Didn't you say it was in there? Did you know?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite logical. It's the last place that's left, and the bow sends you to pod, so what do you need for pod? You need the lamp, so... Now, the question is, does Meyer have more? Because if Meyer has more, that would be great for Killer. TGH does have the ability to sequence break everything in pod right now, but however, if there is something more in here, that could potentially be huge, because TGH will not come here in a while, probably. Killer taking an unfortunate death there.
Interesting that he just kind of walked towards that. The fire snake was on his way, and he didn't really hesitate in just throwing himself at it. To each their own, different strats.
Yeah. Let's also keep in mind that TGH still has to finish up Thieves Town. He hasn't full cleared that yet. Killer has. So Thieves Town would probably be, like, if there is another item in Meyer, Thieves Town would probably be the first spot TGH goes back to check if he needs to find that item. And depending on what he gets in pot here, that could potentially be even more runaround for him. Not too sure. I don't think anything is in pot though, unless I missed something on Killer's. No, well, but Killer doesn't have anything, so maybe Helmasaur has an item. Who knows? Who knows? We know that Thieves Town was empty. Killer checked all 4 items. It's just like, I think he just didn't kill blind because he found all of them. Well, I mean the mirror was at the start, but like the rest of it was empty, is what I'm saying. And that's what TGH still needs to do. Quote unquote needs to do. Okay, so let's keep an eye out here for Meyer, because I am pretty confident that something needs to be... Unless Helmasaur has an item. But I can't see... You can't see maps and compasses and some small items in the dark, so I can't really tell right now whether everything was found on TGA's side. So we'll just have to sit and wait. We have that shovel we know is only 20 rupees right there.
Yeah. Gonna go for, making is just gonna go for the bomb jump play is obviously a lot quicker than going through that maze. Gets that shield, and we'll kind of, just do the quicker route of kind of going through this southern half and just kind of going up to the top left and then mirroring back to the start. And then make that play to finish the dungeon off. Whilst KillerApp still trying to search for that second item in Maya. It is a green pendant as well, so at this point he might as well clear it.
Well, he doesn't have the cane, so he can't.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Trying to make something happen here. What if the cane is in that small chest right there? What if? What if? It is! Oh! Oh! There we go! There we go, dude!
Okay, that ticks 2 items off a trot as well.
And suddenly, I mean, Killer still has to somehow get back to Swamp, but suddenly it looks a lot better for him. Because TGH is gonna have a hard time going into Mire anytime soon, really.
Yeah, there's no major incentive for him, because the main thing that kind of, as you were mentioning earlier, is kind of drawing, at least drew KillerApp over there, was the lamp.
That's crazy. I don't know why he didn't finish it though. I know I would have at that point. I think he just got excited and then immediately saved and quit, honestly.
It wasn't like he had a a slow vitreous kill either. The silver arrows would have completely eaten him up.
Well, he doesn't have the bow yet, so.
Oh, I keep seeing it.
Remember,
These tracks are different to the ones I'm used to seeing.
It's fine. It's all good.
Saw the arrow and just got excited. But yeah, TGH is the one with the bow. Yeah.
Yeah. What if Hera is confirmed to have one more item? So what if Hera does have one here, and it could be the fire rod, for instance. So. That would be another big one. Wouldn't really be good for Killer if he would get it here though, because that would mean TGH doesn't have a chance to find open up more locations for himself to check before he goes back before he goes for Meyer. What Killer needs to have happen here is to delay TGH, or TGH needs to be delayed as long as possible from entering Meyer. That's his only hope right now. I mean, he doesn't know it, of course, because he's only playing for himself, but that is what needs to happen for him here. And he himself somehow needs to come back to Swamp. How would you go back to Swamp at this point though? It's kind of hard to go back. I mean, I'm trying to find a way in my head right now. He has ice left. He does have the cane, so he can potentially even check a chest in Turtle Rock. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a scenario where I do that, but yeah, Killer made a gamble for Swamp left side and having nothing. There was one item left, and it was the bow. That's just unfortunate, really. At the point where they were in the run, though, I do feel like I would have checked that, but yeah. Still, TGH has to do the Meyer play first to say, okay, he's got this, so we'll need to see what TGH does now. He did get the crystal in pod here, now going to move where? Finishing off Eastern, alright, not a bad play. Probably potentially checking the Fat Fairy afterwards, huh? There's the fire rod for Killer, and that's not good. That's not good for him right now. I mean, it's great to find it, but that's going to delay him coming back to Swamp for the last. It's the last potential play he has at this point. It's almost like I've played this game before, right? Damn. Yeah, the problem for Killer is there's no way in like Swamp is the absolute last location he's going to right now. It's the absolute last location he's going to.
So I had some technical issues, so I had to step away for 1 second. Was the fire rod actually in Hera when you?
Yeah, of course it was. What do you think?
Brilliant.
What do you take me for? Hello?
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have doubted you ever. Okay, that's good. TGH trying this dark room and fails. Unfortunately, takes a death.
An Eastern. Wow.
That really is the low-key Killer room. That is really. It's one of those ones. Is because you have like the little lever things that are kind of, they're not levers, whatever they're called, amoebas. They're kind of there, and they block your access to the first. Let's call them Cyclopses. I can't remember their name.
Igor.
I just I kept hearing Igor, and then whenever I said Igor, so I wasn't sure if that was right. Yeah, they kind of block it off, and the positioning, because when they start moving the Igors, they get really, really aggressive, and then moving. They're very, very quick, and they can really shut you down and kind of be on you, and then suddenly it's really hard to get a shot off, and you don't know if they're on the left or on the right. So the screen really requires you to just kind of know where you are immediately. Ideally, having Master Sword and sword beams in this location is a good idea, just to be able to kind of clear out the little guys as quickly as possible. But
yep. Okay, I mean, noteworthy. Killer will be finding the Ice Strut here in Ice Palace, and potentially his clear should be a little bit faster than TGH's. He does have the Fire Rod and Master Sword right now, and TGH also still has to worry about his sword at this point. Like, I mean, you know, usually you just kind of play this game, you get your swords, and then it's all good. But sometimes, you suddenly finish Ganon's tower, and whoops, I still have the fighter's sword, and then you can't defeat Ganon. So that's still on the back of his mind as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, they are so far apart right now. Like, in their progression, that it's hard to say what will happen or who comes out on top here. Like, the only thing I know for certain is that Killer will have a very, very, very hard time to find that bow. Other than that, I don't know. It really depends on how TGH approaches the rest of the seed, honestly.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious as to the reasoning why KillerApp didn't finish Swamp. I know left side is a bit of a pain.
That's definitely something for
you
interview.
completed the dungeon and found nothing. There are 2 more items in there, or at least 1 more item in there. You know, I guess it's one of those things. You just take the risk, and it either pays off for it or it doesn't. And it's an unfortunate state that we can sit here and say, of course, it's the wrong thing. He should have gone it. He should have done it, but. You know.
Yeah, I mean, even looking at what was left for him, he had Ice Palace and a couple singular locations that he could check. So at that point, I feel like he should have definitely gone back for the left side. If you do Swamp and you have like the whole world open to you, I can understand skipping that, and I would call it bad luck that you didn't do left side, you know. But at the point he was in the run, it's. I mean, I don't want to say it's necessarily wrong, because still the chances for an item to be there are not very high, and it was only 1 item left to find for him, so there's kind of like going left for 1 item is but yeah.
Going for the Fat Fairy. Long ago are the days when I completely forgot that even existed. Fun times. 2 items here, so we got hot garbage. I think we got that. 6 rupees. A round of applause for that.
That's not so bad, and yeah, Killer getting closer.
TJ looks like he's going to go for that Master Sword now.
Alright, yeah, so that's 1 worry off his mind if he gets that from the Quakefish there.
As you said, that tick box of just, you know, those win conditions just needing to be met, really, isn't it? You know, but you know, there are so many things that are absolutely essential, and it's just getting every single one of those ticked off. Bam. Always liked the way that those the Frostmen just melt. Rejoice, TGH! You have the Sword of Evil's Bane. There we go. Now, as well, the thing is, when it comes to races, that, you know, when you've maybe, you know, it's a bit more of a complex seed, or it's a bit more of a, as you've seen here, quite a stingy seed. Whilst the Master Sword is a nice start. Oh, he's going for Maya, it seems. Very nice. Are we picking up that cane? And that lamp. You know, well, to go back to what I was saying, although we have the Master Sword, it is very, very nice. There is that thought of, you know, it's quite a long seed. How well is, the feeling that you may not be doing as well as you could be when it is quite a tricky seed. Maybe it may be getting to you, and that kind of worry that you may not even get very nice, going for the pterodactyl ice throw. The tempered sword would be a really nice thing here. Obviously, it's the biggest upgrade in swords, really. The Master Sword obviously allows the kill on Ganon, but the damage increase from Master to Tempered is the biggest in the game. It can't be understated just how much of a difference it makes, and that can really kind of just calm the racers if they find, you know, that 3rd upgrade, if it is quite a tricky seed like this.
Definitely. Now, TGH is going to find the lamp very fast here. That's the second chest. Let's hope, for his sake, that's his first fire source. Let's hope he doesn't get baited into leaving after finding this. Because suddenly, if he finds the lamp, all of his actions make sense and he can do Hera. Let's hope for his sake that he doesn't get baited into just leaving.
Yeah.
It's hard, like,
I mean,
only
if he
getting
does,
the lamp.
a kind of stalemate between the peace outs, because Killer did the same thing in Swamp Palace, so we'll see what he does here. He's gonna stick around.
Yeah. Okay. He has played version 26 before.
He
He was thinking about it. He was thinking about it. Like, hold on a
waited, didn't
second.
he? Yeah.
Uh...
I really like that. I don't know why. It's one of those things that I kind of find interesting about races like this. You can see the players think. You know, every player has a style that you can always see something specific about them when they race, and their thought process is very visible.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is with the lamp right now, it does unlock a dungeon, so it's kind of tempting to just say, hey, that's probably just what I need. It makes sense with Pod and Eastern, I could have done that as well. I'm back on sequence, you know. Might as well go, you know, I mean, I'm sure the Cane and Fire will turn up eventually, right? And then if he would have done it and gotten the Fire Rod, he would have been ecstatic. Oh, man.
It seems like TGH doesn't even want to go. He doesn't even want to chance the long route with the 4 lamps. It's just too much for one chest when you can just check 3 in quick succession, and then if you need to, go back and get that last one afterwards. I like that because it just kind of puts the odds in your favor a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Although he's going for it now. Just went back for that 1 key. Interesting.
Yeah, trying to find, like, you try to find an item here and there or there before you go here. Some players will do the right chest, the rightmost chest first as well. Others will, like, go here immediately, just to get it out. It differs from player to player. Yeah, Killer does make Crystal, oh no, that's a pendant dungeon, whoops. Yeah. He's trying, oh, the pedestal, my friends.
Get ready.
The pedestal.
Is
triple boom. Nothing.
Kind of lame, I won't lie. Kind of lame.
Yeah, I mean, what you gonna do?
I don't know. Contact the rando devs and complain. Not the ideal strat.
Is he? No. You're not jumping back into Swamp. Oh my God, he's jumping back into. Is he? No. You might just be checking Bombo's tablets. Dude, if you are jumping back into Swamp, you're a genius. I bow to you if you do that. Because I would not do that until.
I think he is
going back. No way, dude. No
He's
way.
going for it.
No way.
Nice.
No way. No way, dude! Holy shit! What a god!
So okay. Why? Okay. If you can put yourself into the mindset of Killer App right now, what makes him make this play? What makes him think this is the right thing to do in this scenario?
I think I would have gone up to Turtle Rock, checking the medallion, going to Turtle Rock, try to find my. I just need the bow, you know. It's quote unquote just the bow. I would just try. I don't know. This is. I have to ask this afterwards. Like this is. I mean. Maybe he's just too worried about this one chest. Honestly, it's a one-on-one pressure race. Like know, okay, if there is something there, I'm going to lose for sure, and it's on the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Go back and check it. Probably. I know, Swedge. I'm sorry, but like this is just so. I would have never done this ever. Like not in a million years. I would have checked everything else before I came back here. Everything.
Yeah. You're not a fan of left side. Especially when you've left and you've made the decision to leave because of this, having to refill the entire dungeon. This bonus time sink is there, which is why it's even more confusing that he left in the first place. Let alone making the decision to come back here. It's bizarre, and as you say, a great idea.
I don't know. I don't. They are relatively close on dungeon finishes as well. TGH has a crystal over him, but Killer just has to finish Pod and Eastern, basically. He already was in those dungeons. It's hard to say how this will turn out now. Like, this is really, really close at this point.
Yeah, and as we said, you know, we're going to find out as well when it comes down to picking up this green pendant if Sahasrara has anything, and you know, it might turn out that when we said, you know, go and finish the dungeon, it's quick and it's worth it. Maybe KillerApp made the right play by leaving immediately, you know, just making that guess, and you know, sometimes the guess is enough. Did KillerApp forget to get the key? Doesn't need it. No, he does. Doesn't he? Am I missing something?
Sorry, what?
My mind's thinking, has he flooded the key? But
No. He already did the back of swamp, so if he has that door open, he logically already got the key that can be flooded. So now, the thing is that TGH might have a hard time going up to Hera. I assume it's definitely going to happen after Desert, though. Maybe, I don't know. He does need that Fire Rod, which is,
There's the he bonks into the wall twice.
Stop blinking! You're still in the race! Go, Killer! Go! He thinks he's a million years behind. In reality, he's about even at this point, I would say. Like, he can definitely still do this.
Yeah, you just can't tell what guesses your opponents have made. Like, he didn't know that he's had this lead with the with Maya. Both players, you know, going into the dungeon that, you know, they missed out on. And as you say, it's very, very close.
Go. I would say TGH has the slight advantage should he go to Hera after this.
Is KillerApp going to? Okay, he's going to go
Desert.
He's going to go complete Maya. Good. Just make it nice and quick.
He is in go mode, so we're all good here. He just has to finish Desert. Oh, he never went in here in the first place. Interesting.
Have we found out? Well, we haven't found out. We may not be go mode. It is a very slim chance. There's a 33% chance it's not go mode because we haven't seen what medallion Troc is, to my knowledge. No, that would be the ultimate disrespect if from the seed. If it is like, you know what, nah. But still, TGH going to go check Sahasrara, who has
Giga behind. It depends.
So yeah, it was Bombos, was it? Okay. I didn't see the check on Troc then when it was when it was checked. So TGH going to go do Hera, which will just leave Troc available for him, and he's going to find what he wants. He's going to find his Fire Rod, and he'll be in go mode as well. So depending on how quickly he finishes Hera, KillerApp is going to be making his way over to Pod, then straight back into Eastern as well. As you say, that slight advantage, I think it will probably amount to be, considering how quick Hera is.
Oh, he does have to go into the basement.
It might be about a dungeon.
Yeah, it's about an Eastern Palace between them, about, roughly, probably. Pod is only, well, he also has cutscene in Pod. I forgot about that. Yeah, about a dungeon, sounds about right. Guys, in chat, never say never. I mean, I don't want to specifically commentate or curse anybody here, but I've seen players that bust out the execution of gods suddenly fall to Ganon, so, you know, it's not over until it's over. Glad I cursed TGH right now, by the way. I'm glad.
Have you really raced Rando until you've fallen to Ganon, losing you that first place?
I don't think so.
It's like a rite of passage by now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so TGH is going to be making his way up Hera now after having to endure the basement.
This is also the question, how long or what path, Killer, please, you have been here before.
I was just thinking that as well. Hasn't he done this? Yeah, he's going to go the quick route. I believe, yeah, he's checked everything that he can check, hasn't he? So it's going to be straight to the boss for him.
Yeah, he needs to go the Mimic route, but all he needs is a small key, which he will get here guaranteed on this side, and then go to the boss, and then he's good. And TGH will be very pleased to find his fire rod right here. Boom.
Good for him. That's go mode for both players now.
Yep. They can't be too happy about the Master Sword, but at the same time, they will be hard-pressed to actually, you know, go out of the way to look for Tempered, so...
Yeah, I mean, considering, I mean, especially if we've seen KillerApp's impressions of the seed, his mentality is not exactly... he feels he's behind.
Yeah.
So that kind of, that will be affecting his play, I feel, from here on out.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I mean, I was just going to reinforce with, like, if you leave behind the bow in that one chest, and then come back for it, like, 30 minutes later, and then it's there, you must feel you're behind. Like, there's no way you think, okay, I have a real shot at winning this race right now.
Hmm. TGH done with Hera now. Actually looking quite clear. Already done with Hera, and KillerApp still making his way through DOP, so... DOP, POD, he's not a director of photography. Path of darkness.
To be fair, if Killer remembered that he already was here, he would probably already be done with Helmstor, Kappa. But, yeah. Let's see, Chet mentioned that TR is Bombos. I personally didn't see it, but it's also on a tracker, so I'll believe you guys. And before it's Quake, Kappa.
Chat didn't let us down. +1 to you guys. You can stay.
But yeah, TGH does have, like, this is the first time we can say, okay, TGH does have a definite lead right now.
TGH, TGH, Turtle Rock, the only dungeon where you can't find turtles in. Well, there are others, but there are no turtles in Turtle Rock. Outside of Trinex.
I was about to say, there's a pretty big one.
Yeah, but where are the little ones? There's loads everywhere else. But I guess it's about size, right?
Yeah.
Nice, clean Helmasaur King. There's silver arrows. I was going to say golden arrows. Silver arrows. Doing their job. Doing their job.
Alright, so yeah, Killer still has to do Eastern. I think the huge difference right now between the runners, honestly, is just that Killer checked all pendant dungeons, whereas like he checked Thieves Town completely, he checked Skull, whereas TGH, he only really checked the front side of Thieves Town, and then went into Mire, and you know, he cleared that, but
yeah, he pretty much, yeah, he only did his insta check for Thieves Town, and you know, clearing the rest of that dungeon is a little bit of a trek. It's not huge, but you know, it is time.
I think that this part of this big difference, of course, TGH also known to execute very well. However, Killer had a bit of an advantage with the fire rod that he had in Ice Palace, for instance, so that should have saved him a bit of time there. And yeah, reopening Swamp, just mentioned in chat, that's a big one. That's a big one. I still can't believe that he did that, honestly. Okay, so TGH, he does have the big key until we want to see a check in Turtle Rock here for that. Now, since he does only have the Master Sword, he will probably utilize the Fire Rod to kill the Pokies off here. That are about the to be in this way, like one for the key here, and then the 2 pokey room afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, but at the end of the day, Killer is almost through Eastern, so like it's not like it's unreasonable to think, okay, you know, disaster can strike upon TGH, and suddenly Killer is in the lead.
Yeah, I mean, and we still have an entire dungeon to do as well. You know, depending on decisions in routing when it comes to, you know, trying to find that big key in GT.
Yeah.
You know, if, you know, a hypothetical, if TGH just goes for the left play and KillerApp makes that immediate right play, there's, you know, there's something to be said for the speed difference in that. At this rate, it's looking like KillerApp will be starting Turtle Rock. Probably just as TGH is coming towards the end of it, so.
Roughly, yeah.
Oh, missing a couple of shots here. Not the best, unfortunately, but does manage to clean it up in the end.
Alright, who is in the lead? Well, TGH is currently doing his last Crystal Dungeon, while Killer just finished up his second to last Crystal Dungeon, going towards Turtle Rock now. We got probably about 5 minutes roughly between the runners, which is a lot, but it's not unfeasible to think that some sort of decision can at least close in that gap. In Ganon's Tower. We'll have to see.
The way it's looking as well with the lack of swords, it's going to be long Ganon fights. So if we don't see any more swords, so if God forbid a fall is taken, then you know that's going to really add to the time because Master Sword Ganon is not the one.
Yeah. Though I feel like we have checked so many locations that there almost has to be a sword in a tower. There almost has to be. It could be both swords on Laser Bridge right there, but there almost has to be a sword in tower.
TGH going for the backside there of Trinex with the hammer. Very, very nice execution on the firehead there.
And then blasting the ice head, very, very nicely done. You can't actually open your menu while explosions are going on, and unlike the firehead, he doesn't take damage from the ice rod. The ice head actually does take damage from the fire rod, so if you have half magic, you kind of want to try, and during this transition time, if you can't get your menu, you want to try and blast that one a little bit. That's very well done there.
Really aggressive swipes there from TGH, and does a great job of finishing off Trinex. Very well executed.
Yeah, so it's about that Turtle Rock dungeon that is between them right now.
It's literally going to be a high five. Oh, no, I was wrong, but still. Close enough.
Close enough, yeah. Alright, friends, and we are vastly approaching Ganon's Tower. There is 22 chests that can potentially hold the big key that you need to ascend. Feel free to put a number in chat or your guess on where that big key could be. Personally, I would like to see a tie room and then a gamble from Killer to get that close up here.
That would be great, yeah. That would be great. Tile room. I'm a stickler for you know, staying true to my guns. So I'm personally gonna go number 8.
I'm usually a 7 kind of guy, but like, you know, I want to have a close race.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
All right, we're going in, boys.
This is it. Oh, very nice with the burner dash. Regular key. Money.
Okay.
He's gonna go back, so no right side play from TGH.
This is usually what you see runners do that are confident and that they are ahead. They will generally not try to go to the right side, they will try to do the standard route to the left. So TGH must feel pretty good about his chances here. Yeah, number 4. Number 5, all duds.
6. And, well, that's 7, isn't it?
So far, so good. Yeah, I mean, if I was TGH and I would execute at his level, I would probably also always just go left. I mean...
Yeah, it's very, very clean execution, as you said. So we've got it's called the randomizer room. This next one coming up, isn't it? The one with the
yeah,
four
yeah,
choices.
yeah. That's the random room.
Okay, still no big key yet. KillerApp's still just making his way through Turtle Rock steadily.
I mean, we clearly know that Killer thinks that he's behind by a lot, so, like, I mean, it's not unfeasible to think that he would actually go for the tie room gamble, and if TGH doesn't find a sword, and it's actually there, that would even up things, probably.
Mushroom and powder in GT. Just... The witch can't be happy with that.
She certainly can't be, no.
Could you imagine if, like, if the tablets had the other swords, and then the witch had... You had to give in the mushroom for the master sword. That would have been anyway.
Wow.
Okay, nice and clean. So this is the Bob chest. I've recently learned. I was very, very surprised to figure out that this was Bob. Yes, I didn't know. Don't have a go. Ice Amos. Not too much different when you have the silver arrows, really. It's a quite clean battle
Very
there.
well done. Very well done, yeah.
Bombs. Bombs! Money.
Oh, I mean, TGH can feel very good about that, because he knows that a lot of players do use the small key to go right. So that must feel a bit weird to him now. He was probably pretty sure that he was ahead, but right now he might be sweating a little bit.
Yeah. Doesn't go for the tile room. You could get your wish here, Almagus.
Nah.
Getting closer, dude.
Nah. I mean, that would also mean that Killer actually goes for the tie room straight up, which I don't know. That's a play... I don't know. I don't know. I would personally probably never do that in a tournament race. Like, you must really think you are behind by like 10 minutes if you want to do that, honestly.
Map. Big key.
Alright, there we go. There we go. But, on the... on that note, Killer is probably going to be pretty inclined to choose right side here. It's going to maybe catch him up a tad, and TGH did not find a sword, so not even an advantage in that regard. That will maybe we'll see a bit of a gap closening here. It's still a huge advantage for TGH, obviously, but you know, it's definitely closened up a little bit if Killer goes right immediately.
Yeah. So Trinex almost down here for KillerApp. He's going to play it, go for the spin charge close enough, and just go for the hammers.
He needs to be careful though.
Yeah, one hit and he's down. Ooh! Please, KillerApp.
We did it. We did it.
So as you pointed out, if he goes for the immediate right play, that does save him probably about 2 minutes. Oh, TGH falls there.
Yeah, I don't think either runner has a safety item unless I missed it.
They have they haven't got like any fairies or anything, but they do. Obviously, TGH has picked up the powder from going left first, so anti-fairies will be.
Yeah, I meant in the bottle, so like that you can immediately basically use like a potion or something like that. But I don't think they have anything like that.
Wasn't there a red potion, or was it used up? Yeah, one of them used up a red potion.
Oh yeah, Killer used that one, I believe. I don't. Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Boom.
There's a fairy there as well. He's gonna, yeah, TJ's gonna skip straight past it though. Confident in the 4 HP.
Yep. Yeah, he has red mail as well, so like unless he gets hit by these hazards, like the shooters here, or like I don't know, there won't really be any immediate danger for him. Okay, we go.
And we'll see what KillerApp does. He's gonna go for it. Yep.
Yeah, right side play. That will save him some time, and he is still in this. Albeit it's a long shot, but he is still in there. Now I'm really curious where those swords are, actually.
He's going for the...
Oh, he's doing it. No, don't, no. I mean, I kind of said I wanted you to do it, but not like this, dude.
Okay, caveat. Caveat, though, though, Magus. Tempered.
Oh yeah, okay. I mean, but that's probably not worth it. I got my wish, but like, it's not really what I wanted.
Not like this. Not like this.
Yeah, TGH is opening chests. He's eagerly. It is tempered sword, of course. That was you though. That was you, my friend, not me.
Oh.
That was you, my friend. Now imagine they wouldn't have silver arrows. This would actually make a huge difference. Like right now, with Master Sword and Cape, it's fine. They have half magic, so like TGH is a experienced and a good enough player to like make this a quick fight even with a Master Sword on cannon. But yeah, that's wow.
Validation heart. So yeah, no, he needs to go, yeah, KillerApp's gonna go and grab this key, and then he should definitely just go straight for it, knowing that obviously there is that key from the mini Helmasaur at the top. Does get a little bit of time, but TGH is already at our good friend Aghanim.
I got to. Let's see what kind of pattern we get here. It looks a bit ugly.
One hit.
Yeah. That was you kind of hate to see in the corner. He does very well done there. I think that was 3 hits there. Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
3 turn.
Very well done there. Very well done. Especially the corners are always kind of troublesome, but he positioned himself really well, and then actually got the triple off. Very nicely done.
So just a Master Sword Ganon fight in between TGH and Victory right now. He does, as he said, does have the silvers, so it's just those first 2 phases that are going to be difficult.
Still.
He immediately pops that blue potion as well, so he's got max HP and MP, so risk of dying minimized. It's only going to be a fall, really, that's going to be difficult.
Yep. Now, noteworthy is you do have to spin in order to damage Ganon here, because the Master Sword, if you swing it, does not actually damage him. Oh, very good pattern for TGH here. You do want to see him go in the top right there. You can get the double spin at the back there. Very nice, very good pattern. Did even get the transition here. Very nice. I would love to see him switch to the Cape here, because that can get you a couple extra hits here and there, but he's pretty confident in his hook shots. Yeah. If it's definitely like a lot of people think, okay, switching to the Cape in a Master Sword fight, that's for safety. No, with the Cape you can actually get fewer cycles very easily. Like otherwise, it's really tough to get in the maximum amount of hits here. So. He's doing a great job though at executing. Great job right there. Very nicely done.
3 as well. That was incredibly quick for a Master Sword Ganon.
Yeah.
You know, as you said, the amount of doubles he was getting. Pretty nice.
All right, so now he just has to hit him 4 times, and then 4 times with the silver arrows afterwards, and we're done here. If he falls, ...
Touch wood. Just let's pray that nothing bad happens. I mean,
Okay.
we'll get a race, but... Oh no, Killer App has fallen!
Well, that seals the deal, even if TGH falls now. So, there you go. That's a very nice spin there for the double. GG to TGH.
Yeah, nice, clean, very good. That was a very well. I think one of the quickest Master Sword fights, Master Sword Ganon fights I've seen. Very well executed.
Officially finishing with a 144.49 on SRL. GG. Well done. Well done. And I'm sure we'll get him in here for an interview. Whilst Killer is going through the Ascend one more time here. Let me actually ask. And yes, that means TGH, he is 3-0 in the tournament, which automatically means he would be qualified at the very least, for the tiebreaker race that we're going to have between our participants who are in there with 3 victories. He only needs to win one more match to be guaranteed qualified for the group stage. Which is, yeah, that's like he has 3 matches to win 1. That's pretty good odds right there, pretty good odds. So, and yeah, it's not the end of the world for Killer here. He's going to be 2-1, which is still, you know, positive. Got the 2 wins to his name, so yeah, definitely nothing that ends his tournament life here or anything like that. So yeah. First of all, let's see if we can pull in TGH here for an interview. Alright. You here, TGH?
Yo, what's up?
Yo, congrats on your victory, dude.
Thanks.
That was just in terms of the finale, a very well executed Master Sword Ganon. That was really quick.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, that's something I've
and
practiced.
varieties of swag throughout the entirety of the run as well. We saw some nice hovering coming out of you.
Yeah, it's a very off and on thing for me. Sometimes I think my controller's broken, but it's really not. I don't know. I don't know, but it worked this run. It worked in this run. It worked in what was it, Paradox Cave? I did it. So that was the only time I did it though.
Yeah.
That was quite the interesting seed. I
so...
figured. Huh?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I figured Killer might have gone into Meyer before I did, but wait, did he? I'm actually not sure.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Okay. Yeah, and I figured I could get away with skipping the lamp. I thought Fire Rod might have been a Fat Fairy, but as it turned out, it was locked behind the lamp, which was in Green Pendant Meyer, which is nice. And then it was nice enough to give Kane to bait me into getting Green Pendant as well.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Yeah, the start of the seed was really intriguing because it was just very sparse with items for the most part, and it kind of it was maybe like the odd item here and there, but kind of what was kind of like the point where you started to really kind of formulate an idea and a route?
I don't really think that happens until I mean, I don't know. It's like there's a mode where you're just trying to find items, and like I just go where the items are basically at the start of the run, and then once you get to that point where it's like, okay, you're 3-4 items from go mode, it's like then you start to formulate a route, and then you start to like think about possibilities and stuff. But and that was the point, like where I entered Ice Palace. That was about the point for me. Like I figured there was something in ice. There was Ice Rod was an ice, and then in Swamp. I don't think Swamp. Yeah, Swamp had bow left side. Like that was I couldn't afford to skip left side. Like not with only there are only like 3 or 4 locations for me remaining, and left side had 1 item, so it happened to be the bow.
Yep, that's the big difference maker this race, by the way, because Killer decided to skip out on left side and then came back later.
Yeah. Yeah, left side swamp was big. That's the first time, by the way, Pod. That's the first time I've ever completed Pod lampless, or fire rodless. Like that turtle room, I'd never done that before. Or I'd never successfully done it before. I tried it but failed it. But,
Wow.
yeah, so I just kind of hacked away with the hammer, and luckily I found a couple turtles.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
it was
you did have red mail, so that kind of helped there a little bit.
yeah,
so
that definitely helps.
don't have to worry about getting hit too much there.
But I really wanted, and the death in Eastern was unfortunate, but that's a dark room that I normally have handled, but I'm not sure. I tried to find the exit so I could reset the room, but I couldn't find the exit.
Yeah, sometimes
after getting hit.
It's just like, it's crazy how they move, and then you get knocked around and you don't know where you are anymore, and suddenly you're dead. I mean, I've been there before.
Yeah.
But yeah, any other thoughts on the race in general? Like, I mean, you said this was an interesting seed, and how did you feel in general? How were you doing compared to your opponent? Like, did you feel behind at any point?
I thought I was behind. Yeah, I thought I was behind because I did not go into mire early, and as it turned out, that was the play. But I wasn't about to go into mire when I just got flippers in desert, which unlocks ice in the logic and swamp in the logic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was kind of baited away from there, and then Bo led me in the pod in Eastern, and I thought Fat Freddy might have had Fire Rod, like I said before.
Yeah.
And then finally, I think Mire was one of the last things, if not the last thing I could have done, except for like the center chest in Hyrule Castle, I think had something. But
Yep. I don't know if you checked that actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured since no lamp, and there really wasn't a reason to check it.
Yeah.
But Mire ended up being it.
Yeah, very interesting, definitely, because Killer, like I said, he missed out on the Swamp Chest, so he kind of did Mire, and then immediately went up to Hera and got his Fire Rod, and what was interesting about Killer's run from there is he didn't even bother with Turtle Rock, but before he did that, he went back to Swamp and then found the bow, which is kind of interesting. He did check all the other pendant dungeons, of course, like he wasted a lot of time not having the bow, but he, instead of doing TR, he actually went back and actually got his bow, which I found very interesting.
Yeah, that was kind of the play, that because knowing that obviously that was the item that was really putting you ahead at that point. We were kind of questioning why exactly Killer left in the first place, knowing that he was there anyway, going back into it if he comes back later, longer journey, having to refill, or all of the having to redrain the water. But then the decision to go back was a really, really strange one, and that's kind of what we're looking for. We're interested in finding out when he finishes up here.
Yeah, I think for Killer, like it made sense to skip it in the first place, but because he had Cane and Lamp, right? So he had more.
No.
Oh, he didn't. Oh,
he did do Mire after Swamp.
Okay,
that's the thing.
I got you. Okay, yeah, I thought he did it before Swamp. I thought he did it like when he was over there to start with.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out momentarily, because Killer did finish right now with a 153.11 on SRL. GG Tim. GG.
He's finishing up there.
Yeah, let's see if we can. He's already in the waiting room, so I'm just going to pull him in right here.
Whilst we're waiting for Killer App to get in there, it was again, it was a case of all of the big routing decisions in that early point were all it was literally you'd make the same kind of like one step behind each other or one step ahead of each other, and then there'd be like just one small deviation left and right here and there, but it was always kind of back and forth for that kind of first bit. The main ideas in the early game were pretty much set, which was kind of very nice.
I want to welcome Killer. Hello.
Hey
TG
guys.
on your finish.
GG guys, congrats TG.
Yeah, thanks, Killer. Good race, man.
Yeah, that was a fun seed all in all, but I had to take some gambles, or else you'd execute me easily. So I did the ultimate no and skipped left side swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what we are interested in though, you did that gamble. I mean, yeah, you feel like you do need to do those. We understand that, but what made you go back to Swamp when you still had Turtle Rock left to do?
That's what I went in the mindset. I wanted to try to save Ice and T-Rock for Go mode if I could. So I ended up searching back in Thieves Town, searched Swamp, checked the pedestal.
Okay.
It's fair. It's fair. Yeah, I think that's kind of an interesting thing about this as well. Is like a lot of people kind of just tend to, we know when approaching the randomizer, think that just the luck of the draw is a lot of it. But you say that your knowledge about TGH as an opponent and his ability at the game forced particular decisions from you. And I think that's kind of an interesting thing to do. So, like, you said obviously the play to take some risks by skipping chests.
Yeah.
Was there any kind of other gambles you made that were particularly, with that idea of this risk needs to be taken in order for me to get a leg up?
Yeah, I sort of went on a whim to Meyer too.
That was a good play because
Yeah.
you did it really early, and then obviously you managed to access Hera really, really early.
But in the end, it really didn't matter because it locked the fire rod so you couldn't access. Well, it locked both the cane and the fire rod so you couldn't access either T-Rock or Skull. So it really took out a lot of locations.
I don't think the lamp locked Kane. I think it locked.
Well,
it definitely locked fire up. I don't think it locked.
Well, Meyer as a whole.
Yeah. I mean,
Was the big key on the left side in Meyer? I think it
the
was.
key was on the left. Yeah, but the cane was in the chest next to the big chest.
Yeah.
So you could have hit the orb and gone back.
Oh yeah, there's another small key that nobody ever gets. That's right. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, you were.
So it wasn't technically locked, yeah.
Might as well have been. No, it was close.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really unfortunate that happened that way because TGH, like you said, he ran out of locations and had to go to Meyer pretty much. So there's not really a lot you gained from that gamble specifically that you did it so early, unfortunately for you. And then obviously, I mean, you bonked when you found the bow. You knew you were behind at that point.
Yeah, I knew it was over.
yeah. And then the Tyrone gamble actually was really interesting because it gave you Tempered Sword.
Yeah, I know, that was pretty neat.
Where was that?
Tyrone.
Tile room.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it was what was really nice is Killer literally entered Turtle Rock as you had just left. So there was this kind of nice little high five of him going in and you coming out. So there was that one dungeon between you, and obviously Elmegas and I were discussing that idea that if you feel ahead or if you're execute that to the level that you do, you'll head left. And then you only really tend to make that play on the right if you feel behind or if you kind of feel you have to take some kind of risk.
Yeah.
So there was a big kind of time save that was made there, and even the by adding in the tempered sword pickup, that was potentially how quickly was the Master Sword Ganon going to go versus the tempered. But yeah, the timing of that was kind of going to make for an interesting endgame.
Mm.
Was there any kind of because there was a few. I mean, unfortunately, there was to the skull wizrobes on the way up to Ganon's tower. Was that just kind of just trying to take it too quickly, just trying to save as much time as possible, or was that just...
Yeah, I wasn't thinking. I usually don't get hit in there anyway. If I remember I had my blue potion, I would have used it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of small things, just trying to finish the seed up, I guess. Yeah.
It didn't matter anyway.
Well, you still want to, you still put in a very, very good time, and considering the, because although it wasn't obviously the fastest seed around, but it definitely wasn't the slowest one either. But it was one of those ones that had nice intricacies, and the way that you both worked through that. Really broke the seed open, considering how tough the start was and how, quickly the options were diminishing because it was just hearts and rupees consistently at the start.
Mm-hmm.
And we were saying that you both kind of picked those big routing plays early on and were kind of always following in each other's footsteps. it was a very, very good race.
Yeah, it was definitely enjoyable. And for most of the time, since you took so different routes in the mid game, I was kind of like, okay, who's actually ahead now? Like, what's happening? What's happening here? And then, yeah, the clear lead once TGH entered Meyer was clear. All right, TGH is definitely ahead at this point. But that wasn't until like 130-ish, 125 maybe. So like, yeah, that was definitely very enjoyable, very good to watch. Congrats to both of you. Mentioned it earlier. TGH goes 3-0, which basically means, yeah, we're going to see you at least in a tiebreaker race, but I'm sure you're gunning for that 4th win.
I'm gonna try.
And yeah, Killer, I mean, you're taking a loss here, but you still got 2 wins to your name, and pretty sure you're confident that you'll make 4 wins, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know about 4, but I think I can make the playoff for sure.
Yeah.
As we move forward, like kind of last kind of thoughts, I guess, before we kind of come to the conclusion here. My kind of question, as you move on from these, when it comes to preparing for races like these, obviously you'll be doing races and you'll kind of be doing runs of the version. But what are the things that you're really trying to when you are practicing? What are the things you're really trying to pick up on? What are the what are you analyzing in the seed? How do you guys like to actually, what are you trying to learn with your practice to go into a race with?
Just maybe improving on the little things that just add or shorten your travel time, like completing dungeons or whatnot.
Yeah.
Pretty much that.
Is it kind of like anything that you can actually learn about the version? Because whether it be like certain dungeons tend to have items that are worthwhile, or how whether you want to, whether or not you need to, but choose to full clear a dungeon because of potential for items. I guess it's a bit of a strange question, but because being able to read a seed, I'm less experienced with version 26, and both yourself, TGH, and Elmegas during commentary said the lamp's in there in Maya. That kind of knowledge, being able to read the seed, is that something you try and learn?
Yeah. Well, I can definitely say that there's a reason I went into ice before swamp. Like, basically, there just seems to always be such a good chance that there's something in there in ice, especially in the deep parts, like the chest lock behind the hammer, especially. And Ice Rod was in there this time, but I found, I think in my last tournament race, I found the hook shot for my go mode item in one of those chests in Ice Palace. And I think maybe the other one too, the first one, I'm not sure. But yeah, I definitely see a tendency for Ice Palace to have very important progressive items, or at least value, if nothing else.
Excellent.
All right. I think you guys have any closing words that you want to get out?
No, just well played, Tej. Hopefully,
Thanks, Killer. I appreciate it, man.
Match up again in the future.
GG, dude. Good luck for the rest of the tournament as well.
You too.
And good race.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that pretty much closes it out. GG to both of you. Good luck on your next races. And
Thanks.
That's it for now for us on Speed Gaming here. On this channel, I believe Super Metroid is coming up here, if I'm not mistaken. And as far as Randomizer tournament goes, there'll be a doubleheader over at Speed Gaming 2 in 20 minutes from now. And we will be back in an hour and 50 minutes here with another doubleheader on Speed Gaming 1. And there's also one race at 8 p.m. Eastern on Speed Gaming 3. So there's tons of things that are coming up for you guys. Thank you all for watching. It was very enjoyable commentating. Thank you very much for commentating with me, Bowie. Much appreciated. And you guys, you have a good one. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you guys very much.